Welcome to the crooked screen. Jesu criminy, it didn't look like that just a second ago. There, that's a little better. Welcome to the Monday, April 14th episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. It's still crooked. What in the Sam Hill? There we go. Sorry about the last minute stream. I don't know what the deal is with YouTube. These last couple of weeks, I cannot set my streams in advance. I have no clue what's going on, why it's all of a sudden changed. I can post videos in advance, but I can't set up my live streams in advance. It goes through the entire setup, and in the on the bottom bar, instead of saying next after I schedule everything, all it says is go live. So, absolutely no clue. I hope somebody even shows up, seeing as how, and I'm still crooked, seeing as how there's no advanced warning. Hopefully, somebody will catch this, and I'm just not going to sit here and talk to a camera for the next however long. Um, Hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. I have been trying to fit in what I could fit in. There's Tony. There's Tony. Yeah, it just sucks, man, not being able to set these live streams up in advance anymore. And I can't figure out what what the deal is. Why it's I've gone through. I've updated everything, and it just for some reason it will not let me set up the live streams in advance anymore. So someone always shows up. That is true. I did that premiere um, the other night, last night, and only one per. I was on there for a half hour, and Bud Files showed up and hung out for about 10 or 15 minutes. Then even she bolted. It was there's nobody was in there except me to talk to. So, oh no, no problem, no problem. It wound up getting, oh hell, what is it at now? It was at 29 views when I checked right before bedtime. Um, Let me see here. That's at 31 now. So better than a kick in the shins, I guess. Oh, but yeah, I've been staying busy since we changed the hours at the brewery. I'm getting up like super freaking early um, now and going in. I was there a little before 5 a.m. yesterday morning just to make sure I had enough time to get everything done and be out of there before they showed up to start warming everything up and doing their prep and stuff. And it looks like it's going to be, 5 o'clock in the morning here on out, um, on the weekends, and 5:30 through the week. So my number one granddaughter was in a play. Cool. Hope you had fun with that. I'm sure she probably did. Been trying to take advantage of these nice rain free days and get stuff done uh, for the Ren Fair next month. Was trying to work on Viking boxes, Seafarer chests, and stuff like that to put all of my grills and my little iron pieces and stuff in my coffee pot. I got to go back out this morning and get busting on that. Having no depth perception, and this eye being blurry, it's hard to it's hard to drive a nail, let alone read a tape measure or anything else. But I'm pulling it off. Not so much. I hate to play. Bye bye birdie. Oh, they picked a heck of a play to break these kids in on. That's for sure. Good morning, Lady C. Hope you're doing well this morning. Yeah, I've seen Bye Bye Birdie a couple times. It's quite the yeah, like I said, they picked a heck of a play to break these poor kids in on. That's for sure. You know, besides the video or besides the change in my hours with work, um, been exhausted, y'all. I've been straight up exhausted. I'm waking up. I went to bed the other night at normal time and wound up waking up at 11:30 that evening and not being able to go back to sleep. I literally laid in bed. The wife was at work. I had the bed to myself, and I couldn't go back to sleep until almost 5 o'clock in the morning. And it's like, nope, can't do it. Got to go to work. Got to go to work. So, good morning, Justin. Look at all the trouble in here. Oh, I'm doing. Trying to stay busy. Trying not to stay busy. Let me rephrase that. Trying to find find things to occupy my time so I don't come home from work and pass out on the couch or something while the wife is sleeping, the daughter's doing homework. It's I don't know. I don't know what it is. Oh, I had to put a hold on the Viking house I was building. Um, the guy who normally transports me to what is up with this little wing coming off the side of my fold in there, get in there, get in there. The guy who normally transports me to this event next month scheduled a Civil War event in Ohio that weekend. So he and his trailer and the tent that I usually borrow are all going to be occupado that weekend. So like I said, I was working on building the Viking house. We could just slide up on the trailer, ratchet strap down, take it over, slide it off. Um, Now I don't even have access to a trailer um, to transport it. So now I got to try to figure out where I'm going to come up with the money for canvas to build another small travel tent. When it rains, it pours. Um, what happened to your eye? Um, Cataracts. The cataracts have completely blinded me in the right eye. It got so bad that my equilibrium was off, which was causing me to stumble around. I was getting very, very nauseous. Um, been to the hospital twice. They couldn't explain it. First, they thought it was post concussion from when I fell during wintertime when they were doing construction uptown. Um, and I tripped over one of the barricade legs that was bent up. Instead of it sitting flat on the ground, it was bent up. So when I lifted my foot over it, I wound up catching it with the toe of my boot and fell and hit my head and my back and everything. They thought it was post concussion issues. Um, and then they start checking for mini strokes and things like that. And I wound up, the medicine they put me on wound up messing me up more than, I mean, it was making me dizzier. It was making me very sick. So I quit taking the medicine. I completely stopped it. And I noticed that I regressed back to only having balance issues and stuff, which at times, depending upon brightness of light, um, made my stomach upset. So I pulled out the eye patch and started wearing it and realized that it was only being able to see clearly, well, semi clearly with one eye, and everything being a haze and a blur and everything, it was counterbalancing me. Um, but wearing the eye patch solved the issue. Well, except for extremely bright light and looking up at something and then looking down really fast. If I look up and close my eyes and slowly level my head out, it don't bother me. So the eye patch is a permanent fixture now. Um, I've been ripping DVDs to my server. I'm at 300 at this point. Only about 350 days to go. Getting better would not be regression, in my opinion. I cannot look steeply upwards. Oh, yeah, it messes me up. The brewery designs their own sweatshirts and t-shirts and flannel shirts and stocking caps and ball caps, and they have them all hung up on the wall um, there in the main dining room. And I was out there the other morning looking to see what kind of new things they had created. And I looked down and I started to stumble. I wound up hitting the door leading out to the patio and stuff, and just kind of had to slide down the wall and sit there for a few minutes and till it passed. Got up, went back to work. Ready for May. Go to Mansfield, Ohio Civil War show. I'll almost bet that's the one that my friends going to is Mansfield. Um, the weekend of the 17th and 18th of May. You know, when I said about 1,000 DVDs, 1,500 with the stash in the house, I grossly underestimated the number. Amazing how that works, isn't it? How we grossly underestimate things. Like I said, you know, I'm working on these Viking Seafarer boxes out of some of the scrap lumber and stuff we had left over from the deck last year, and I grossly underestimated the ability of a blind guy trying to drive nails and read tape measures, things I've done for years, I just have issues doing now. Yeah, grossly underestimating things seem to be a habit of humans. Actually, I find folks usually grossly overestimate. Yeah, yeah, you told me. You told me, but I have no help. So, I have to figure out how to do it myself. But it'll all come about. It'll be okay. Do I own a pair of vice grips? Not anymore. No, driving the nails really, honestly, has not been an issue. It's just properly placing them in the location they need to go to be driven. Um, I'm sitting here looking at 2x6s, and I've got them laid flat on the lumber, and then I set the side panel up, and it's looking over the piece, judging where the nail has to go to be driven. But I haven't hit myself once with the hammer. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's not been an issue. Um, but I'm going to go out there today and work on the stuff some more. It's already it's partly cloudy, so it's not going to be overly bright outside, and it's another pretty day. We're already at 50 degrees. I sat yesterday and waited till 3 o'clock for it to hit 50 degrees. So yes, yeah, it'll get done. I should be able to get both boxes done today. Yeah, it was really windy yesterday. And I think that's one of the issues with us hitting that 50-degree mark was the wind coming directly out of the southwest. So, I mean, it was just shooting up the road um, right to where I was working at. Today, there's no wind at all. So, here we are, just after 8 a.m. and it's already 50 degrees. We're supposed to get up to uh, almost 60 today, I believe. Let me see here. I think we're supposed to get up to. Now, see, this is showing 52 degrees already. Um, 62. 62 degrees is what we're supposed to get to today. May 3rd and 4th is the Mansfield, 17th, 18th is Defiance. Okay. Yeah, Defiance, Ohio is the one that Darren's going to. So, or Daryl. Um, I don't know why I said Darren. That's the one that Daryl's going to. So, yeah. Now I have to try to come up with the canvas to build another lean-to, but at least I'll have some real nice Viking boxes, and one of them will be a flat top cook box that I can actually do all my food preparation on top of it, And when I get done, you know, do all my dishes and everything, dry out my bowls and slide everything, my grill top, my grate, my coffee pot, my wash tubs, all that right back down in the box. So my carry guns so do what they are supposed to. My squirrel gun is very ready. My carry guns do what they're supposed to. My group is going to both. I don't know how many historic events I'm going to get to do this year. Since I was put in charge of, myself at work, um, there's only one other person there that knows how to do the dough, but they work from like 1 o'clock in the afternoon until like 9:30 at night. So I don't want to take a lot of time off. Not only does that hurt us because we're already struggling. Um, for those of you that, you know, have been with me for a while, you know that I just recently got a raise to $13 an hour on the day that minimum wage went up to 12.85. I was only making $12 an hour. So, I'm still within 15 cents of minimum wage, even though I got $1 raise. Um, of course, that sucks balls because um, everybody else that's starting there, even though I've been there since they opened, everybody else that's just starting only starts at 15 cents less than me. So, yeah, it's it sucks because all the things I need to get either for the fair or for reenacting or for the investigations or for anything, I struggle to try to figure out where I'm going to pull that rabbit from. And usually it's a very tickly spot, and I don't like thinking about it. Even not shooting for 2 years, I can still shoot. So much for that shooting is perishable skill or shit. Yeah. Yeah. Tony's right, Justin. I can't, for some reason, which is why I didn't do a live stream last week and why I almost didn't do one this week, is for some reason I can't preset up my live streams anymore. When I go to do the preset up, it automatically wants to start the stream. So I've once again I've tried for 3 days to preset it up. I tried again this morning when I got up. It wanted to start it at that moment at 3 a.m. So I just stopped and got it set up at 3 minutes before I started this morning. So nobody had any heads up that I was even going to go live. I still want to do paranormal investigation. Well, don't, and maybe you can find a ride but June 21st, June 21st, um, I will be speaking at Ghostorama 2025 in Jackson, Michigan. We are going to be at the Theodore Event Center, which is formerly a historic um, what are those things called where you go to get interned and get um, um, funeral home. See what happens when you get old. Stay young, Justin. Yeah, it used to be a funeral home years and years ago, and they've turned it in. It was so big they turned it into an event center. So I'll be doing a speaking engagement at that event, and then that evening we'll be doing an investigation of the building and the grounds. So might be worth trying to get a ride to Jackson, Michigan, on the 21st of June. Last week I got a notice for the stream on like Tuesday, Friday. 28, type 1 diabetic. Good morning, Jay. Hope you're doing good this morning, sir. Sent your beautiful wife a message earlier. She may have just messaged me back. That was that weird thingy. Yep, that was her that messaged me back. No, June 21st. Let me look again to make sure. June 21st. Saturday, June 21st. At the Theodore Event Center in Jackson, Michigan. Good morning, sis. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good this morning. I'm 28, type 1 diabetic. Dude, 9 days before my daughter's 16th birthday, she found out she was type 1. Much like what happened with me back in 2016. No sign, no symptoms, no nothing. She just all of a sudden, we just realized she wasn't gaining any weight. And, the doctors were starting to ask questions. How can this kid be almost 6 feet tall and weigh less than 100 pounds? And one doctor took a blood test and told my wife in less than an hour, you need to take her here today if possible, if not today, tomorrow, and have these tests done. And, the kid sees doctors every few months. Like every 6 months, she went to the doctor. No doctor ever figured out the fact that she was type 1 diabetic. And how in the hell the kid was losing weight when she lived on bread, rolls, bread, garlic bread, Texas toast, biscuits. But she never spiked. She never spiked at all. She had no symptoms at all, and we wouldn't have known if it wouldn't have been for that one doctor who decided to check out her blood sugar and found out that she was diabetic. I found out when I went to the hospital for a UTI and found out I was a diabetic. So, wait a second. Wait a second. You went to the hospital to have your PP checked out. And by them checking out, there's no nice way to put this, by them checking out one little prick, it has led you to a lifetime of little pricks multiple times a day. Ironic, isn't it? Blood sugar was 580. GLC was 12.5. Dude, when I went to Kalamazoo on the 5th of July, 2016, my blood sugar was 860 and my A1C was 16. So, believe me, um, I know what it's like to be shocked. Well, I don't know what it's like to be shocked because I was unconscious. I didn't find out for almost 10 days later that I had died and that they had brought me back and I had died again and they brought me back and they decided to induce the coma when my lungs started failing about 10 minutes after they brought me back the second time. So, uh, believe me, I know what it's like to be shocked. They said I should have been in an ambulance, passed out, but I was standing up and talking. Not me, dude. When I came out of the coma and I had a chance to talk to my doctor, who is now the head of uh, the diabetic uh, group in Boston at the hospital. He told me I should have been dead. He said I should not be there talking to him right now, um, which is why they had me hooked up to a bunch of effing ridiculous electronic devices um, when I was in my coma. Uh, he said there I shouldn't be there. He said he has buried people at a um, lower level than I was at. So yeah, yeah. My last A1C was 7.8. Yeah, it's something that you definitely don't want to mess with. Um, I spend a lot of time now paying much closer attention to how I feel. Um, right now, my biggest issues is the dizziness and stuff like that. I've noticed, like I said, in really bright light, um, I start to get a little wobbly, and when I look up, then look down really fast, I start to get the same way. Also, when I get very tired, which is how I know when it's time to go to bed at night, because I'll start, walking through the house and I'm walking all waggly and stuff like that. Fluorescent light, that's another one. Fluorescent light. Um, uh, no other light besides sunlight. Um, and fluorescent light bulbs, like our grocery store, our Hardings here in town only has fluorescent bulbs in it. So when I go up there with the wife, I start to get kind of waggly, and she likes. I think she laughs at me secretly because she lets me push the cart. That way I don't fall into the shelves and look like a drunk guy walking down the aisles and stuff. But other than that, I'm perfectly fine. Sitting here in an incandescent bulb, or on days like today when it's partly cloudy, I go on forever. Nothing slows me down. So, um, oh, how many times I heard the "you should be dead" line. Isn't it amazing how they like to throw that at you? Mr. York, you should be dead by now. Mr. York, you have the heart of a 92-year-old man. It's sad to say you're only 50. Good morning, Sarah. Good to see you. I never thought about that. I never thought about that, Tony. How the fluorescent light pulses through the chemicals. That's a good point. Good morning, Masha. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing good this morning. No, trying to. Yeah, the shit I know. You are a compendium of useful information, Tony. Which is, better than, what the old man used to tell me. I'm a compendium of useless. I got no room. I got no time for suspected spam. Good morning, David. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good this morning. So yeah, I got a lot of figuring out to do um, with stuff before the 15th of next month. I'll actually be going out on Thursday to stay at the park where the fair's going to be. Um, since I'll be the only one there of an evening, and any vendors and stuff that show up to set up Thursday night, um, somebody has to be there that at least somewhat, kind of, sort of, almost, but not quite knows what the hell's going on. So, yeah, I'll be out there Thursday night. And I really honestly don't mind missing 3 days of work for what I get paid to do security out there. It's like 2.5 weeks work for me at the brewery. So I have no problem missing those 3 days of work, going to work, Thursday morning, and then coming home and taking off and going over there. It's going to be a fun event. Doing good here. That's good, David. That's good. So yeah. Oh, it's always fun. It's always fun, Sarah. You don't see. It's not a fantasy fair, so you don't see a bunch of fawns and elves and giants and things like that walking around there. You see a lot of very well put together, nice outfits. There's one guy that comes through um, every year. He's English Knight, and he's probably got $2,500 wrapped up in armor alone, let alone the tunic and stuff that he wears under it. Um, like I said, I have to figure out the finances for canvas since I can't get the Viking house built because I have no way to transport it. Um, I've got the metal laying around here to make a Viking helm. If I can ever get my bloody drill back from the stepson, or I can drill it and rivet it. I'm actually not going to rivet it. I found some very, very short studs with a screw back. So instead of having rivets, it'll have spikes that cross over and line everything. And then I've got a couple Viking boxes to build. But hey, I got a month. If I can't do that in a month, there's something seriously wrong. I got an emailed job offer last week from Health to be their head of fleet maintenance. Wow. That'd be a pretty good supplemental income. And hell, one thing life has taught me, could always use extra income. Fair. Oh, I was talking about the fair. Yeah, it's not a fantasy fair. It's an actual Ren fair. So you have um, some very beautiful dresses. Um, the sword fighting. Uh, they're all, professionally forged swords. Um, you've got the little portable weapons museum. You've got some amazing performers. You don't see plastics and stuff like that. It's very well put together. Carrie has done an amazing job for the last This will be 7 years now. Um, Getting this together and only having the best, most accurate, historically speaking, vendors, performers, people like that. So I can't do it physically. Uh, yeah, that's the bad part. The extra money would be kind of cool, but the physical strain on your body, um, never a good thing. We have a Ren Fair at the Jubilee College site every year. Yeah, I don't know if I could actually. I don't know if I could actually do a fantasy fair, but I have no problem doing the Ren Fair. Um, the people are amazing. It's like I tell everybody who's planning to come out and visit, find a hotel room, set up a tent back in the camping area, do whatever you need to do, but come out to spend the weekend. Because seeing these people during opening hours is really neat. But hanging out with them after hours, that's where the real fun's at. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I look forward to it every year. I'm just hoping that sometime in the next year, um, I can at least get this eye fixed. Because at the rate of degradation that this eye is going through, um, if I don't get it fixed, I'm going to have to. Uh, uh, I'll still stay head of security, but I'll have to have another security officer there with me. So I don't like to split my money. There's a Ren Fair somewhere here in Connecticut that I haven't been to yet, but some performers were at another event blowing fire last year. We've actually had performers um, at our fair here that I've heard about how good it is, that have performed at like the New York Renaissance Fair, and I believe a Ren Fair there in Connecticut. Um, we made a good name for ourselves, um, and being a well put together event. So some of your larger performers don't mind doing the travel to come out because they know not only are they going to be paid well, but they're going to get tipped well by the crowd as well. Um, yeah, that white cane might not engender confidence and security. Yeah, yeah. Um, I know it's a little early. What is it? 10 till 9 here. I need to make a run real quick. I was so worried about getting the stream set up moments before I had to start since I couldn't preset it up. I didn't get a chance to do my thing. So y'all like talk nice amongst yourselves for a second and I'll be right back. Well, if I would have sneezed or hiccuped, that could have been catastrophic. Hey, Elvis. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I don't even want to. I don't even want to discuss the white cane. Um, I don't. I probably won't use a cane. I mean, come on, who are you talking to here? There's a good possibility I'll be using an 8 foot staff. Um, it's actually a spear, but the head screws onto it, so that way I'm not walking around with that. But I have a nice long walking stick. Good morning, Ty. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I gotta send you a picture of that gambler's hat I got. I believe that is the type of hat that Doc Holliday wore. Every picture I ever seen, he had a flat top hat. So I believe the one I've got is the type that he wore. I told Brenna about it, and I completely forgot to send you a picture of it. White cane thing was just a joke. I know. You guys know I have no insurance here in the state, so I can't afford a white cane anyway. I'll just have to walk down the road with that 8 foot staff going beep, 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 beep. And the second that I hit somebody in the knee with it or something like that, I'll go beep, 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 beep. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue doing Doc anymore. Why? Why would you not do Doc Holliday? You look like a skinny little lunger. I think you do a great Doc Holliday. Oh, man. Oh, goodness gracious. Like I said, the weather is going to be really pretty here today. I hope weather's nice where y'all are at. I mean, I think 62 degrees is absolutely beautiful for the second week of April. Partly cloudy, not too hot, not too cold, nice enough to sit out on the deck and watch the kitties run around and watch people drive by that are not lucky enough to be off on a Monday. Sadly enough, I'll be doing it by myself because a certain boner that I married decided that this week she was not going to change her sleep schedule on her days off. So she sat in bed while I slept and watched TV all night. And the boner is still awake, um, sitting in there watching TV, waiting to doze off. So she'll sleep all day, get up and make dinner tonight, hang out with me until I pass out, and then watch TV again tonight while I lay there and sleep. So, swear to God, sometimes I want to hit her with a stick. It made 80 there yesterday. Nice. Mom and Dad had those temps down where they live in Tennessee last week. We got up to I think 65 one day last week, and Mom was out working in her flower beds. Um, that day they said it was 81 degrees down there. I'm so glad spring is here. Well, in Quincy. Well, yeah. Still, 80 degrees is nice for the second week of April. 80 degrees is really nice. Um, no complaints here. I think it's supposed to get up to 62 here today. Yesterday it was in the 50s, but it was windy, so it felt colder. Yeah, see, that's how it was here yesterday, too. We're supposed to get up to 62 today. Yesterday we got up to 52, but it was windy as hell. So yeah, 52 felt more like 42 when I was outside trying to work on those boxes yesterday. So yeah, today it's calm and 10 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. So we're already at 10 degrees warmer. Hell, it didn't hit 52 yesterday until almost 3 o'clock. Here we are at what, 52, 53 degrees now. So 58, 58 there. Yeah, you just keep sending that nice warm stuff this direction. We'll take it. We'll take it considering a week ago last night it was snowing. Um, we'll take it. We haven't had a good weekend in weeks. It's either cold and windy or rainy. That's how it's been here. That's how it's been here. Like I said, yesterday and today are clear. We've had in the last week, in the last 7 days, we've had 4 days where it has rained sometime in a 24-hour period, whether it's a actual thunder boomer or just misting. Um, yeah, I'm at the end of the rain thing. Get a mixture of snow and rain Saturday. It was just cold here. There was no snow and rain. It was just chilly. I think I walked to work Saturday morning. It was 31. Only got up to 40 something um, Saturday. And yesterday morning it was like 40. It's like 44 when I went to work, but it stayed 44 clear up until about 11 o'clock, and then the temperature started slowly going up. like a degree every couple hours or something like that. So, nope. I'm glad spring has sprung. It can continue to sprung as much as it wants to, because I'm done. I'm done with cold. I'm done with snow. I'm done with crappy. Um, I'm done with crappy weather. I have, however, come to the realization that with the spring we've had so far, I'm not looking forward to summer because I got a feeling we're going to have a drought. I just have a feeling it's going to be hotter than Billy be damned, and we're going to have a shortage of precipitation. I've had my fill of crap weather too. Yep. Man, I cannot. I am so looking forward to next month and the Ren Fair and stuff. Um, Had a couple phone calls to make, but I'm back. Welcome back, love. Um, hey, Ian. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Uh, I'm just looking forward to it, man. I love the fair. I love the people. I love the news people that come out. Uh, that was my big thing. That's always been my thing about historical accuracy. When I take on a persona, I try to get or make everything I need for that persona. Um, because when the news comes to talk to me, I want them to see as much accuracy, as no modern cups sitting on my table and stuff like that. I've either got pewter or I've got ceramic ware or I've got something sitting there. My weapons, my camp setup, nothing modern showing at all. My costuming accurate, everything. So, not to mention, it's going to do me good to get out of this bloody house. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I get cabin fever, like super bad in the wintertime. Even just being confined to what I can and can't do compared to the summer months. Um, I get cabin fever, but it is all my stress level, my chest hurting, everything tends to go away when I can go out and sleep under the stars and not be confined to four walls. It's so much nicer. Um, I have spend more money I didn't anticipate spending. Got to spend more money I didn't anticipate spending. Well, that sucks. That always sucks. Especially when you don't have the money to spend, but you got to try to figure out where to get it because it's things that you need to get. So, yeah. I have two differentials and an entire front suspension to repair. Jeez, you criminy, Tony. And you said you couldn't handle the physical stress of that job offer. Let's see how it's going to be any different than what you do at home. My dad was more into Revolutionary War arena. I love doing Rev War. I absolutely love doing Rev War. There's just no Rev War events around here, and my only 1812 event is almost 3 hours south of here. And well, the stitch counters, uh, what we officially call authentic Nazis, are very strict there. I mean, if you didn't spend big money on your setup, right down to your clothing, they're going to point it out to you, and they're going to let everybody know not to deal with you because you are using less than quality stuff. Yep, new tractor and new front tires for my quad. Oh, that sucks. Do what I can here, not what I was demanded by an employer. I did Rev War, Aero Living History, but not a soldier. Hey, Wook, good to see you. Hey, Case. Oh, sorry, hiccup. Hey, KG, good to see you too. Hope you guys are doing good. Hey, hey, the gang's all here. Oh, man. In case you guys missed it, done a premiere on Saturday night. Um, don't know what happened. It's a great premiere. It's one of the best investigations I ever done. I actually had Amy from Mindless Adventures and Tommy amongst the Tombstones. This was an investigation that we done several years ago, but I rehashed the video through modern sound recognition, voice recognition, and stuff, and was able to come up with a lot more uh, communication than were originally able to. And it was nice. It was nice. Only had one. I was on there for about a half hour. The video is about 44 minutes long. I was on there for about a half hour, and Bud Files was the only one that showed up, and she didn't even hang around for very long. So I went on and booked out of there. Went to spend time with the wife before she had to go to work, and it. Trying to get back in that mode for investigation season. Which should be starting here really, really soon. Mark and I have discussed it. He's already researching some locations. So definitely going to be a busy summer. Sorry, haven't been in the stream much. Been in a depression state of mind lately. I don't know how you can be depressed with that beautiful hunk of burning love that you got there with you now. After the struggling that you done to get her up to Indiana, you finally got her. Oh, I'd be on cloud nine, but that's just me because I'm easy to please. What can I say? I'm going out. I'm going out on my own tonight on Sleepy Hollow Road. You know, you should never go by yourself. You should always have somebody nearby, um, in case something happens to you. At least you know that you're going to be protected, um, and have somebody to make a 911 call if you need it. But you should never go out by yourself. Number one rule. Even these investigators that go out and do a solo investigation, um, have got somebody back in the shadows, not investigating, just watching them and their health and safety. I don't plan on getting out of the car. Well, I would certainly hope not. Not if you're bound into. You'll take KG out there with you. I mean, just to give you somebody to talk to at least. Bloody thing. Yeah, I don't mind doing a solo investigation as long as I have somebody there to watch my back. Don't pick up a device the whole evening. Just be there to watch my back. That way I know that if I fall, um, if I break an ankle, if I, whatever the case may be, I have somebody there to call 911. Don't forget to, guys, for those of you that, um, have an open schedule for June 21st, um, Ghostorama, Jackson, Michigan, um, at the Charlotte Event Center, formerly a funeral home in Jackson. This will probably be the only Ghostorama for 2025. I will be doing my first, even though I've always, supported and everything with Ghostorama. I will be doing my first Ghostorama public speaking engagement. Um, and I plan on speaking. I plan on speaking about, speaking partially about all the teams that I have worked with and met and influenced during my years. I've already got a hold of Trevor Jensen, What Goes Bump in the Night, this morning, and reminded them of the event, and also informed them that I will be bringing them up during the speech. Tommy Amongst the Tombstones, Randy's Real Paranormal, Jan and Jay from JJ's Adventures, those dweebs, everybody that I've had some kind of contact and or influence on, um, during my time in the paranormal. It was Riley Walker and Trevor Jensen, who gave me the name Papa Paranormal. So, Papa got to talk about all of his kids. There is a buddy that lives close by. Wait, what? Guess we're going to head out to see about getting a new tractor. Have a great day, everyone. Oh, you too, Jan and Jay. Good to have you. Rawr, what the hell was that? Can y'all hear them? Still would be awesome to hit Sleepy Hollow Road with y'all. Oh, I'd love it, dude. I'd love it if it wasn't so hard with scheduling and stuff. With Mark working for the county sheriff's department now, working in as a corrections officer, only getting certain times off. Um, he's off on weekends where I have to get up early, so it's kind of hard to get the scheduling to coincide when me and him can just take off and make a trip like that. Uh, until we get famous and I don't have to work anymore and can just travel to these locations, that's pretty much going to be the gist of it. And that's what we're trying to do. I've actually sent out emails here recently to a couple of bigger investigators who have had shows on the Travel Channel or Discovery Channel, um, had shows in the past. Let's put it that way. They're not shows that are on still today. So don't even think for a second that you're going to see me with Zach and Aaron um, anytime soon. Maybe one of these days when I actually. But I'm trying to build better investigations, better videos that I could submit to them to show them what I do, and hopefully, tilt them towards taking me up on the offer for redoing another show since they already have the contacts and stuff with those two networks. Um, that would still be awesome to hit some other road. You haven't seen Tommy in a while. David, Tommy just done a video or just released a video last night. I started it last night and finished it this morning. Um, nice investigation. Nice investigation. He got some amazing direct Class A EVPs and stuff. Direct responses to questions and statements. So yeah, definitely, um, if you're subscribed to Tommy Amongst the Tombstones, definitely check out that investigation that they released last night. Um, it's very cool. Who you calling a dweeb? Those dweebs. What happened to your eye? Ghost Adventures, are they even still on? Well, yeah. As a matter of fact, they're starting the new season. Today's the 14th, 15th, 16th, Thursday night. Um, Thursday night is the beginning of their new season. So yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, they're still on. What happened to your eye? Um, my eye. The cataracts have gotten to the point where Um, this eye is completely gone. The pupil is even starting to silver haze. So I'll probably always be blind in this eye, even if I can get the surgery to fix this one. But what was happening was not being able to see at all out of this eye, except for just a fog, was throwing off my equilibrium. So it was making me very dizzy, which in turn made me nauseous. And I went to the hospital twice. They tried to figure it out. They give me medicine that just made me dizzier. Um, and made me very lethargic, made me constantly want to sleep. And I quit taking the medicine when it started interfering with my home life, not being able to help the wife out and stuff like that, or do anything. I mean, I couldn't stand up without leaning against a wall or something like that to keep from falling down. Um, I quit taking the medicine and realized that it was this eye that was throwing off my equilibrium and stuff. So we pulled out the eye patch, and um, I started wearing it, and the dizziness, for the most part, I still have those situations, but the dizziness and the nausea stopped. So yeah, you'll probably never see me again without the eye patch. Um, Bud Files, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for coming into the premiere Saturday night. Um, I left shortly after you did because nobody else showed up after you left. So I went and spent time with the wife. I figured sitting there watching myself on screen or spending time with her before she went to work, she kind of ranked a little higher. So I just started season 29. I'm getting to where I can't see at night. My eyes get dry and itchy when I try to drive at night, and it gets cloudy and hazy, but I'm fine during daytime 20/20 vision. Wow. See, I have very, very, very little issue at night as long as there's no light. Um, I'm good. I don't run into any of them at Paracons, but I do run into some of the guys from TAPS, except for Dayton, or yeah, and Holes. Yeah, I've met quite a few of the TAPS um, people at different cons, TAPS International, stuff like that. Um, Great group of people to sit and talk to. Destination Fear, um, Expedition X, Expedition Fear. Uh, great groups of people to sit and talk to, and full of information. Hey, Doc, good to see you. Hope you're doing good. How's it going? It's going, man. It's going. Living a prince's life on a pauper's pay. It's going. Getting ready for my new season to start with investigations and um, my fairs, things like that to start up. Of course, still popping them videos out. Haven't seen one from you in a while, by the way, young feller. What you been doing with your time? Hmm. Oh, got to close my eyes for this. Didn't want to blind myself on that one. Um, Morning, me. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. There's a Paracon here in Connecticut that they show up at. One of the twins from TAPS is going to be there this year. I'd love to make it out there to some of those bigger cons. There's one up in mid Michigan they do every October. Uh, it's absolutely huge. Um, got some big stars, big investigation teams from all over the country and Canada. I think it's Soaring Eagle um, up in, yeah, that place. Can't remember the name of the town now. But I've been invited the last 2 years to go up. But, can't drive, and I didn't know anybody else going up there. So, haven't been able to make it. But I would absolutely love to make it up to that one. Um, like I said, it's huge. Um, Been a crazy year for me. I got in a rollover accident, have been dealing with minor medical A rollover accident. How come I didn't hear anything about it? But on the bright side, I got a beautiful new house in the Missouri countryside. Nice. I mean, I guess that's brighter. Still, you got to deal with the minor medical issues that, you know, are attributed to that rollover. I don't know. I can't trust Taps anymore with the guy's daughter being a fraud, and he won't call her out for it. I didn't hear anything about that. I didn't hear anything about Jason's daughter um, getting called out for being a fraud. What was that all about? Yeah, I'll be going outside here in just about a half hour myself. Go out there and enjoy it. We'll talk to you later, bud. I know a lot of people getting back to the fraud thing. I know a lot of people have accused her and her husband, boyfriend about shady dealings on videos and stuff like that. But the last I heard, they were disputing it, and nothing had been proven. So yeah, that kind of surprises me. Vince faking all the ghostly interactions. Some of the videos about it. Five on, five on of videos about it. Wow, I didn't hear of any confirmation. Oh, ton of videos. Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about confirmation, so that really surprises me. I mean, I have seen her on her dad's shows, and she seems very, very legitimate um, with just her unconscious reactions to things. Not so much her boyfriend, but her. Um, this year they're combining the paranormal with true crime at the Paracon. Last year they added new age stuff to it. Oh, yeah, that kind of. Yeah. Jason was running the whole show, so he wasn't about to call out his daughter. Yeah, that's maybe, maybe not publicly, but yeah. If I found out my daughter was faking stuff, I wouldn't have called her out publicly on it, but I would have ripped her a brand new one privately. I'll have to look into that and see what kind of stuff they were supposedly faking. That's just weird. I've talked to Jason um, through either Ghost Hunt, um, the World Ghost Hunt, or through Southern Michigan Paranormals, or and wow, that just I like Jason. He's a much more down to earth. Now, since all this crap started with the Conjuring House and the stuff that's been going on with Nunez talking about making threats and things like that, he's not been so open to speak. Um, but before that, seemed like a very down to earth guy and was um, very eager to speak to anybody about his experience and his pride in his daughter getting involved in paranormal and stuff. So that's very annoying. On my work tablet, so for me, his reputation is poop. Took up the Conjuring House. Look up the Conjuring House drama. I think new Conjuring House movie just came out. Not that I know of. Have to look into that too. Oh goodness, got 9 folks in here watching still. I've watched hours of evidence against them. It's easy for them to prove they're not fake. Have them do it barefoot in a shallow pool of water. Now, that statement right there has me very curious about what they were supposedly faking, because you would think that if it was that easy to prove their innocence, they would jump on it. So yeah, I'm like really curious now. I've got to look into this and find out exactly what kind of evidence they were accused of faking. Oops, the new Conjuring House movie hasn't been released yet. It won't be out till September. Joint copying to make sounds. They won't do it. Hmm. Weird. See, I don't put very much validity into noises that the body makes. Um, there's too many people out there that have got medical issues where they can, you know, they can be sitting there holding a device or asking questions, and they can be gently tapping their foot on a hardwood floor to make it sound like footsteps. They can take their foot and stretch it to make their and just pop 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 pop. Even I've even known people that can take their toes and flex their toes. And y'all remember the original Indiana Jones film where the skeleton falls down and the head turns and goes. Uh, they did that with hard boiled eggshells. Made that. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I've seen people just flex their toes, and because of arthritis or whatever the case may be, just sit there. So yeah, I don't put a lot of validity into bodily sounds. Um, for me, it's more the 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 stuff that you get over your equipment, the direct responses, the Class A and Class B, EVPs, um, any visual shadows that move when no one is moving. Even in that video premiere that I done Saturday night, we were getting, because of the time of year it was, there were a lot of bugs out there. So I had to actually slow down and stop frame a couple of different shots to show the difference between what a bug looked like in the bright light and what an orb looked like in the bright light. Of course, with an orb, there's no wings. It almost looks like a rod going up like a straight line, and then a much lighter straight line going down both sides of it. Where a bug, when you freeze frame it, you can actually see a white body and white wings. So it's little things like that that tend to show that you're being more honest about things than some people are. Um, Even when they were barefoot, at one time someone also could have knocked off camera. I grew up in a haunted house in Bedford, Texas, so it's aggravating to see people fake it. Oh, understandable. You know, you guys all know I grew up in a house that started off as a one-room cabin, and the people that owned the house, which was a nine-room farmhouse when we got it, with two outbuildings, but it started off as a one-room log cabin back in the 1830s, and the family had the history of the house. And I sat right there and read the history of the old man dying in the 1850s during a snowstorm, and of the two little girls in the 1950s killing themselves on the property. One hung themselves out in the barn, and one hung themselves from the railing of the banister of the upstairs. So, all those noises my sister and I heard at night, the stairs squeaking, whispers, things like that, had some kind of historical backing to it, some kind of historical explanation. Um, with modern technology, anything recorded can be edited for effect. Yeah, you're right. It can. Mornings, Mr. Squatch. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. I woke up to my house smelling of beef noodles. Were they beef ramen noodles? Or beef and noodles, like, that you put over mashed taters? It's funny, you wake up in the morning to your house smelling like beef noodles. I wake up in the morning to the smell of my cat taking a poop in the litter box. Something ain't right about this. Doesn't seem fair. And no matter where I wake up, I smell it. Probably because we have a litter box in our bathroom just off the bedroom. We have a litter box behind the couch just outside this door. So if I'm sleeping on the couch or I'm sleeping in the bedroom, I still wake up to the smell of cat poop. So consider yourself lucky you woke up to the smell of beef noodles. I'm not a fan of either smells, to be honest. It's understandable, I guess. I don't like waking up to cat poop. I don't know anybody who does. I mean, it's better than waking up and finding a pile of cat poop on your chest. I mean, I'm glad they're using the litter box. So, I mean, but that's just me. Oh, man. Goodness gracious sakes. I cannot wait to get out there and get to working on my Viking boxes. I still got my boss's circular saw. So I got to get this stuff done so I can get his circular saw back to him. Nothing like a blind guy trying to do woodwork. Anybody want to place a bet on whether or not she has to take me to the ER today because I cut my finger off? Huh? Anybody gonna take that bet? It could happen. Oh, let me see here. Of course, it's going to be even more fun and more interesting um, when I start to build a Viking house. Because then, not only am I working on something extremely big, but I got to climb a ladder uh, to do certain parts of it, like roofing boards and things like that. So it's going to be even more fun. And we'll run a poll when I start working on that uh, to who thinks I'm going to wind up in the hospital, or who thinks I'm going to cut off an appendage, or something like that. It's actually the one I was going to build. I was going to build it for our Ren Fair coming up next month, uh, where it's just the basically it's the wedge style, walls only about 2 foot, and peaks up to about 9 and comes down, kind of like a wedge tent or a small wall tent. But the guy that normally transports me to that event has a Civil War event scheduled that weekend in Ohio. So I had to forego getting my Viking house built, and I've got to come up with the canvas somehow for another lean-to for that one. So I'm building some Viking seafarer trunks and stuff to carry all my dry goods in, to carry all my cookware and my ironware and stuff in. Um, and then hopefully by next year, I've got Nick Smothering is looking for me. He says he thinks he knows where there's a couple trailers at. Just bringing me, trying to get me my own trailer, um, where I can build it as a permanent fixture on that trailer and just make the sides fold down and then pull out the steps to walk up into it. So it'll actually be more elevated, which I like. The design I was going to do actually has the panel on the floor that you can pick it up and dig an inside fire pit on the ground right below it, and that way if you're using it in the wintertime, or it's raining really hard, you can still cook and do coffee and stuff like that right inside there. It'll even have the traditional smoke funnel, double cap roof for the smoke to escape. Maybe build it in the hospital parking lot. Might be safer that way. That way, it's not that far of a trip if I cut off an appendage, or drive a nail through my hand, or crush my hand or something, or fall. It's probably smarter doing it that way. I was at a Ren Fair one time many years ago, and I seen a family come in and put up a yurt. And I always liked the yurt, but the center pole interferes with having a center fire. Um, so yeah, I've kind of given up on the whole yurt thing. the roundhouse. But I don't mind that. I mean, I'm used to staying in a wedge tent style setup, so having the wedge house seems like the best way to go for me. That way, there's room for all my boxes. There's room for company to come in and sit around the fire. There's room for a bed, um, and I'm up off the ground, which tends to be uh, my favorite part of doing it is being up off the ground. Yeah, exactly. All my stuff is squarish, and the yurt is roundish. So you're actually wasting some room. That's one thing I liked about having my TP years ago was I used baskets more than anything. So I transported all my clothes and stuff in baskets, and my firewood, when you go in the TP, all my firewood stacks up against the liner and follows the curve of the TP till you get back around to the back, and then you've got the rectangular shape of your bedding. But other than that, with the exception of maybe that 2 square feet, um, was the only space she was wasting in it, doing this other stuff with actual squares, boxes and stuff. Yeah, you really need those square walls and stuff to not waste any floor space. I mean, the whole thing's only going to be what 7 foot wide by 8 foot long by 9 foot tall. There's not a lot of floor space. So you try to utilize that space as much as possible. I'm aware I'm addicted to coffee, but I really need it right now. They make tripod yurts now to open up the middle. Huh, I've not seen any of those. I've looked at yurts, on eBay. Walmart sells them online, stuff like that. But y'all know my financial situation. We're fighting tooth and nail to keep the house afloat, and try to keep insurance on it and stuff like that. I don't have the extra money to spend on stuff. And since we've not been able to get the channel monetized, yeah, I rely on the donations to be able to do anything, to get any equipment, to get anything I need for events, things like that. So, um, I have so many tents. I need to sell them or give them away. One RV, but I think Helene trashed every single one. Go figure. I need to sell them. I have so many tents. I need to sell them or give them away. Well, if you decide to give any of your tents away, your old buddy here in Southwest Michigan can use canvas like crazy. Because Walmart sells about the best quality of canvas around here, like painter's canvas. But still, it's a very thin canvas. It's not waterproofed, and it's expensive as hell. I mean, the last time I went to Walmart, which was about 4 years ago, and bought canvas, I think I spent $63 on white canvas, and yeah, it wasn't a very big piece. Now I don't even want to think about what it is with everything going up, and you know, God only knows where it comes from. Probably comes from China, which means it's got a 115% tariff, 300% tariff on it now. So God only frickin' knows what canvas will cost me now. Harbor Freight sells cheap canvas. I have never seen white cotton painter's canvas at Harbor Freight. I've seen blue plastic canvas. I've seen red plastic canvas. I've seen white plastic canvas. I've never seen actual cotton canvas at the Harbor Freight we have in Mishawaka, Indiana. All my tints but two are ultralight tints. Huh. See, we have a modern tent. We have a 12-man modern tent, but I can't set it up at the fair on the fairgrounds. I have to set it up way back in the back past the parking area where the modern tent's set up at, which means I can't adequately view the fairgrounds at night like I'm supposed to do being head of security. So, yeah, that herein is the problem that I have. I'm older, so the lighter, the better. Cost a bit, but to save my back, it's worth it. See, that's the one thing I like about our modern tent is I can set it up by myself with little or no issues at all. Um, Same way with a lean-to. You know, all I have to do is tie the poles to the front, stake down the back, pick the three poles up, pull the canvas up with it, then stretch the ropes out, tie them off, and that sucker's set up. Takes about 15 minutes to set it up, unless you're blind, and then maybe it takes 22 minutes to set it up. But still, but I do agree with the whole back thing. I go out and do these events to relax and not come home feeling crappier than when I went. Mm. All right, guys and girls, it is that time. I have got to get busy building boxes and trying not to nail myself to them. Every event I ever did, I felt like hell afterwards. Man, not me. When I get out of this house and uh, go out to do an event, whether it's a Ren Fair or a reenactment or just a encampment, it is like every stress and strain and everything just lifts off my back and shoulders. You know, I come home feeling like $1,000,000 and I can fly on that for a week or two. So I don't care how much marching. I don't care how uncomfortable the boots, whatever the case may be. I always feel great. Um, Somehow I ended up buying a tent not meant for the American market. Bruh, got a Cash App. Um, Bruh, got a Cash App. We had one, um, but I don't think the wife has it anymore. Um, I don't think the wife has it anymore. That's why I start dealing with PayPal, um, because now they're encrypted to the point where it's really, really hard. I've never lost a penny through my PayPal. And you know, when you send it, when you send money through PayPal for family and friends, they don't charge you um, a percentage like they do when you're buying something or paying for something. So yeah, I do need to get a Cash App though. I need to get one sometime, somehow, uh, some way. But that's it, guys. I'll try to continue to solve this preset up live stream issue that we've been dealing with for the last couple weeks. Once again today, I had to set up this live stream and instantly go live. That's what it's been wanting to do. It's not giving me the option to. I mean, even today, I set up the time to start it, and it wanted to start at the second that I set it up, and just ignore the setup time. So I might have to do that again next week. We'll just have to see. But I'm out of here. I've got to get rolling. Jesus. But you guys all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. We do. And hopefully, we'll see you next Monday. You guys take care, and we'll catch you later. Much love, y'all.